Randumb Rants. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Before we even start this video, I don't want to date it, but I gotta say, I'm overwhelmed by the support that I've received on YouTube after my first month. I really appreciate all of you guys, the subs, the comments, everything. Another thing, this page is in its infancy. You gotta understand that. It's the beginning. So if you guys want to hear me rant on something, I'm treating these first comments like y'all moderators. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to entertain that. So by all means, put it in the comments. I most likely know these people anyway. Yeah, you already know that. But let's get into it. This is a different type of rant. Sometimes I might hit you with a bio. Sometimes I might hit you with a episode rant. But this is a different one. This is like a... How can I explain this one? See, sometimes characters in these shows, they have other talents, right? And of course the audience don't know them for this though, right? They know them as their character, but every chance they get to show you that they can do something else, they're going to let you know they can do it. I'm going to give you an example, right? And I said it before. And we will be doing this. It should be coming this week, right? Pam and Gina singing on Martin. Every chance they got to show you that they could sing, they're going to go above and beyond to let the audience know, nah, I know y'all know me for this, but this is what I can really do though. And that leads us to this episode. Stephen Q. Urkel. Family Matters. Y'all remember him? The nerd. Y'all know he took over the show. We gonna do the Steve. Look, all this stuff is planned out. That Steve episode is way down the line, so I can't say that's coming soon, right? But, he's a nerd. He took over the show, right? We all know that, right? But Steve is a phenomenal basketball player. And come on, y'all already know this. I know y'all know this because y'all seen the show. So it's y'all know he a walking bucket. We all know that. Everybody know that. It's Steve Urkel. And we gonna get into a couple episodes. Because every time he got to show their skill, he was, Eddie the captain of the team, right? Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Randumb Rants. We don't got to start from the beginning on this, right? We're going to start from the first time basketball was mentioned on the show, right? And that was a random episode in season 1 when Carl was training up Eddie his freshman year to make the team, right? Boom. That's irrelevant to this story because we talking about Steve Urkel, okay? And his basketball story starts season 3, episode 8. And y'all remember how the episode start off? Steve walks into Winslow house. He sees Eddie eating a sandwich. He's like, yeah. Hey, Eddie, I've been practicing and I'm pretty good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try out for Varsity this year, even though I'm in 9th grade. And Eddie's like, you're not going to make the team. And Steve is like, dude, you play for the team. And that's no offense, but I'm clearly close to the situation. I've been to you guys' games. Vanderbilt isn't that good, And what you don't know, Eddie, is over the summer, my peoples paid for me to go over there in Cali to the MTV camp. Yeah. So I was actually playing. I played with a guy named Will Smith. Fresh Prince. He's like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something. Eddie thinks he's lying, right? But we got the pictures. Reggie Miller was out there. You know, Will Smith is a bucket. Everybody know that. And by the end of that camp, like, Steve was okay. He wasn't on that level. By the end of that camp, though, Steve became pretty good. And Eddie just was like, whatever, man. I don't believe it. Like, you short. You know, I don't believe it. And Steve, like, I'm telling you, I'm very good now. Like, Will Smith, like, had a problem with me. And he be putting up 30 out there in Bel-Air Academy. Eddie, like, I never even heard. This is before the internet, for real. Eddie's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know? You'll notice a connection, like, with this video and whatnot. With, like, the Fresh Prince characters and the Family Matter characters. And that's because Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow do have a relationship. And it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I'm actually going to make a video explaining that too. You know, because I actually had a little debate with, you know, someone in the, you know, in the comment section and whatnot. And I'm just going to clear it up. Well, I'm going to make a video about that. So, to sum up that last scene, basically, Eddie's in his mustard colored pants hating on Urkel and his new basketball skills. Y'all already see that, right? Next scene. You see the school. You see the logo. Okay? They have not got a conference championship since 75. That's a minute ago. Like, we in what? Season 3 now. So we're definitely in the 90s now. You know? Not good. You see Eddie's clearly the captain. He's doing the workout, shooting and whatnot. They're listening to him. You see Urkel. He has his suspenders on, you know. But, look, you cannot judge a book by its cover. You got this coach, right? This coach, terrible basketball coach, does not believe in Urkel at all. You know, like, dude, like, you know, give him a chance. Like, let's see what he do out there. He's a kid, you know. And the coach is like, what's your name? He's like, Steve Urkel. You know, I'm here to play. Like, you in 9th grade, man? Like, yeah. But, you know, I don't mean nothing. Like, good luck, man. You know, this varsity now. Good luck. And throughout the tryouts, right? You see Steve, you know, he's looking dazed and confused, but he's not getting a chance. Like, can y'all please pass him the ball one time? Y'all are so good. Y'all so good, right? Just give him a chance. Like, he's not getting the ball. He's just running around, wasting time. And at the end of the practice, he's like, well, I mean, you know, nobody passed me the ball, coach. Like, I really didn't get a chance to show you what I could do. And coach is just like, you know what, Urkel? You can be our equipment manager. You know, and just dismisses him. You know, it's sad, you know. And in the next scene, you know, Laura's going through her little cheerleading fiasco. She's going through similar situations that Urkel's going through on the basketball team. And Urkel's just explaining to her, like, look, you know, I'm just going to be the best equipment manager I could be. You know, I've seen these kids play. I know I'm better than them. If I ever get a shot, I'm definitely going to show that coach up because he don't even know what he's doing. He had a losing record last year. You know, no offense, your brother plays, Laura, and I'm way better than him. You know, Laura not believing it, but, you know, whatever though. I'm going to show y'all, you know. And in the next scene is game night, right? And it's against their rivals, Willow Glen, right? Just so happens Carl's boss went there, you know. And Vanderbilt is being Vanderbilt. They are bums. They're losing to Willow Glen 44-66. And everybody is getting hurt. Everybody's getting injured. They had about 3 injuries in a 2 minutes. 2-minute period. And you know, Urkel's the equipment manager. He's playing his role and whatnot, right? And even Judy Winslow is talking to her mother like, You know, what's going on, man? If they miss anybody, if anybody else get out this game, like, they gonna have to forfeit. And then somebody else gets injured. You know, as she's saying that. And coach is like, well, looks like we're gonna have to forfeit. Like, this guy is the worst coach ever. You know, and Eddie is being an adult, which is crazy because he's supposed to be the coach. Eddie's like, well, coach, you know, if you forfeit this game, you're probably going to get fired. You know, we've been losing since I got here. I'm a junior now, you know. And he's like, you're right. I guess we got to have the equipment manager come in. You know, Urkel, do you think you can play? And Urkel's like, dude, I've been telling you for the past 3 weeks that I can play, you know, but you just won't listen. But that's all good. I'm about to show you tonight. Takes off this little suit, right? Takes off his little Sergio, right? And what's about to happen is like the greatest comeback. One of the greatest comebacks in sitcom history. This dude gets the ball, right? And it's like, okay, like he steals the ball first. And it's like, okay, I got the ball now. It's go time. I'm going to show you what Penny Hardaway and Reggie Miller was showing me over the summer. Because my people's got dough. If you don't believe it, ask Carl Winslow. I mess up his garage every other weekend. We're going to talk about that insurance claim too. We're going to get on that too. That's neither here nor there. We're going to get back on topic though. We're going to get back on topic. But yeah. He gets this ball, right? And what's about to happen, man, goes between the legs. Urkel got this little, it's a hesitant spin move. If he catch you with it, it's like you're done. Man, he do like a little layup, score a bucket. They like, hold on. Nobody, like, the crowd goes wild. They're like, okay, hold on. Now score 48-66, right? Eddie gets a block. Eddie playing defense. He gets a block. Man, Steve gets this ball. He's crossing dudes over. You know, getting to the rack. Like he's throwing oops to Eddie. He threw a oop to Eddie. Like frying. He's frying these people. It get to the point, mind you, it ain't nobody. It's only 5 people left on the team, right? So Willow Glenn can still sub. It gets to the point it's 68-73. You know? And Steve's still doing his thing. It gets to the point it's 72-73 with 18 seconds left. Man, Steve get the ball. And he hits the dude with a little move. Creates a little space. Oh my God, it was like a little stutter step. Man, he shoots this 3. Bucket. Like, and he knew it was going in. He knew it was going in. And game winner. Game winner. Steve is the man. He's the man. They holding him up now. He saved the coach's job. Beast. Beast. He played Varsity his whole 4 years. And this is my thing. Like, the show portrays him as a nerd. Granted, he gets good grades, right? We all know that. But this dude is the starting point guard for his school. How nerdy can you be, bruh? He's the starting point guard for his school. And he's a bucket. Y'all act like I don't know. I was at some of them games. I went to the Simeon game. Vanderbilt. Urkel versus Kenny, the Spider Jackson. Y'all don't remember Kenny? Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny because Kenny he went to Simeon, right? Everybody knows this, right? It's so funny because let's get to the next episode, right? Let's get into the next episode because I think y'all forgot about my man Kenny, right? Season 5, episode 7. Y'all don't remember? Urkel came in. Oh, you know what? You know what? I had the episodes mixed up. Yeah, it was this episode. Eddie Winslow was eating a sandwich. I forgot. That's my fault. But nonetheless, Urkel comes in. He's like, Eddie, Chicago Parks and Rec, they hosting a 2-on-2 basketball tournament. We need to join it, man. I think it's gonna be all right. And of course, Eddie's hesitant. He's like, man, I'm in college now. My basketball days is over with. Like you the beast. You feel me? You the one who be going to these camps. And Steve is like, look, if we win, we get season tickets to the Chicago Bulls, and this is not the Chicago Bulls you are probably used to. These are the Jordan Bulls, okay? At the time when this show came out, I was a kid, okay? And me and my friends, we were something called bandwagon Bulls fans. That's when you're too young to have a opinion and you just hop on Jordan. A lot of you guys do that with LeBron, but this is not a sports. Well, it is, but we're not talking about that nonetheless, though. Let's stay on topic, okay? So he's like, yeah, we get Chicago Bulls tickets if we win. And Eddie's like, count me in. Let's go. I'm with it. And in the next scene, you see they're at the park. And, it's sign up day. It's sign up day for the 2-on-2 tournament and whatnot. And you see Waldo and, of course, Weasel. And I guess they think they're going to do something, right? So they're going to be a team. Nobody's worried about them. And we got Steve and Eddie, right? And, Steve like, look, I'm going to look for the paperwork. We're going to sign up. And while Steve walks off, Eddie's like, oh, who is that? Oh, man, that's my man, Kenny Jackson. The Spider. From Simeon. Went to DePaul. Everybody know him. Beast. A monster. Beast. A lot of people say he looks like Little Ricky or Eddie Winslow's younger brother, but that's neither here nor there though. Right? But yeah, Kenny was like, yeah, hey Eddie, what's up, man? You my man. I remember, playing back in Little League before I went to Simeon and whatnot, right? You my man and whatnot. Jimmy Malloy, my other man, he was going to play with me, but he pulled his hamstring. So I'm down to play with you, Eddie. I think we can win this. And Eddie like, man, forget Steve. If Kenny, the Spider Jackson from Simeon want to play with me, I might have to take him up on that offer. So, all right, let's rock it out. Man, Steve come back like, look, I got the paperwork. Eddie, what size shorts you wear? Eddie like, look, Steve, I'm going to play with Kenny, man. Steve like, well, what about me? I'm the one who put you onto this. You wasn't even trying to play. And I'm a beast. Like, I've already proved that 2 years ago. You know what I'm doing. And Eddie chose, I mean, come on, man. Like, Kenny Jackson's at DePaul at this time, And, I mean, he averaging 8. But, he the 7th man. You feel me? Kenny Jackson, though, he a beast. This street ball now, right? And Steve like, all right, man, whatever, man. We not friends. This one of them 90s shows. You ended a friendship. You killed the friendship. That's how they do, right? Boom, right? So the next scene, and I know y'all remember Grandma Stale. Everybody loves her. We're going to do the Fletcher episode coming very soon, right? But she's telling Steve, like, look, I got a lady friend. She played basketball. She from I be seeing her at the old folks home and whatnot. Like, she real good peoples and whatnot. Real good peoples. She said she'll be down to play with you. And Steve like, come on, a lady? Like, come on, Grandma Winslow. Seriously, you kind of wasting my time. Like, your grandson already played with me, And she like, yeah, Eddie told me. And that's why I'm telling you, like, I'm telling you, like, she's a beast. Steve, like, man, how old is this woman? Like, well, you're not going, Mr. Steele, like, you don't ask no lady over 50 how old, what's her age. Like, you crazy? Like, I know your mother. I know we never seen your mother on this show, but I know you got one. And we get a knock on the door. And Grandma Winslow, right? She didn't let Steve know that she knew Grandmama. Yep, you see her, Grandmama. The great basketball player Larry Johnson. Yep, his grandmother. From UNLV, his grandmother. She used to do commercials in the 90s. Man, and could make a great sweet potato pie. Oh my God. And her pound cake. Oh, I see how Larry got so big. We're just going to say, I really see, delicious desserts. Delicious. But nonetheless, she's a beast. She taught Larry everything he knows. He plays just like her. But Steve is like, oh, he see her, he like, all right, well, she about 6'9", 6'10". I'm a beast too, Grandmama. I'm pretty good too. I'm not your grandson, but I'm pretty good. I think we can do this. So Grandmama like, all right, no problem. Let's rock it out. And we get to the next scene, right? And it's tournament day. And Eddie gives like this look to Steve, like, y'all see him, right? Like, and they talking, right? And he know he did him dirty. He like, look, Steve, I played with you for 2 years, bruh. You are good, bruh. You are a bucket, bruh. This is Kenny the Spider, bruh. Like, he's a bucket. He was a bucket for Simeon when we played him. He dropped, 30 on us, and he's at DePaul now. Granted, he's only averaging 8, but that's 8 on a D1 level, man. Like, Steve, I love you, but these are Jordan Bulls season tickets, and I'm just trying to win. And Steve is like, look, no sweat, or whatever, having heat talk, right? Because he like, it's cool. Look who my teammate. Then Grandmama walks up, right? Big, like, oh, I should have got to fix my bra. She an old lady. Big boned old lady. And she walks up to Weasel because she knows, her grandson is going to eventually play for the Knicks, and she already, she watches the news. So she knows, she like, you look familiar. You look very familiar. Your name isn't Dudley. He was like, no, it's Weasel. Okay. Then pinched his cheek. Okay. Because she ain't know. But now you see the board. The tournament starts, right? And we see Eddie and my man Kenny. They out there doing their thing. Buckets. Frying. You see Kenny out there dunking. He was frying Simeon. He do his thing for DePaul, average 8 points, but he's doing his thing, And you see my man Steve with Grandmama. They can't be stopped. They killing teams 11 donut. Teams ain't even scoring or like you. Man, one dude tried to shoot on Grandmama. It was like 4 blocks straight. She's a beast, a monster. She was like, she's like the Wilt Chamberlain of the old lady basketball league now. Everybody knows this. Like, y'all do y'all research though. She's been winning championships on that level. Nonetheless, you see Kenny and Eddie, they look concerned. Like, you already know. Next game, you see Waldo and Weasel just wasting time. They get spanked. Like, why even show up? Why even show them? How about that? I know, to make people laugh, right? Nah, this ain't that. This is basketball. And in the next scene, my goodness. Oh my God, I forgot about this part. You're gonna see Like, they doing their thing, right? Eddie and my man Kenny, but Eddie does a freaky move when he dunks the ball. We gonna stop. I'm gonna show y'all. See? I told y'all. Y'all been watching basketball y'all whole lives. Y'all ain't never seen nobody do that. Ever. Eddie is a freak. He's a cold freak. Freezing freak. And I'm going to touch on all that in the Eddie episode. But before we ever get to that, you're getting the Waldo episode. So don't even expect Eddie until you see Waldo on this platform. Because you're getting Waldo first. It's chapters. But getting back to the topic. Eddie and Kenny, they win their game, right? And the next game, Grandmama and Urkel, they frying, they win, they beat their team. You even see Urkel dunk. Like, how many people knew Urkel could dunk? Urkel dunking it. Reverse dunking. Who would have thought that, right? And now it's the finals. The final two teams. You got Grandmama and Urkel against Kenny Jackson, a.k.a. the Spider, and Eddie Winslow. And it's for the Jordan Bulls season tickets. Oh, and it was an intense game. I mean, it was back and forth. Grandmama old, so you got a D1 player like Kenny out there, Kenny Jackson, he gonna get his buckets, and Eddie was getting his too. But I mean, you even see like Steve really goes in his bag. Grandmama, she gonna get her dunks. But for Steve to he went in his bag and hit a hook shot on him. Hook shot. Like, Steve is a walking bucket. And unfortunately, it's like almost game point. And Grandmama goes down with an injury. Y'all got to remember, her bones is old, so her knee gives out. And she's like, yeah, I got to sit this one out. And Kenny and Eddie I guess we won. And Grandmama like, nah, you're sitting out too. Have some respect for your elders, young man. You a D1 athlete. I would hate for something to happen to you, right? You not bigger than my grandson. It's not like you got a pro future. Like, just, went on that young man and he sat out. And now game point was between Eddie and Steve. And this is what Steve wanted. Because Steve, anybody that's watching the show knows Steve better than Eddie, right? But only person that don't know it is Eddie. He's the only person. And Eddie gets the ball, right? He shoots a jump shot. Steve gets the ball back. He starts talking that and one trash. What's wrong, Eddie? You gonna build a house shooting up all those bricks? Eddie's like, just play, Steve. Just play, Steve. Man. This man, Steve, hits Eddie with a wild Iverson crossover. Got Eddie turning around every type of way. Steve drives in the lane, dunks it. Hangs on the rim on him. Even poses on Eddie. Posed on Eddie. And he won the tickets. And he was like, yeah, it's a show. So, of course, he go and holler at Eddie. He like, yeah, Eddie resting his knee. Got ice on his knee. He's a bum. He's washed. He like, look, Grandmama's a Hornets fan. Because her grandson, of course. So she gave me the tickets. She gave me the extra ticket and was like, yeah, I'm going to give it to you, Eddie. And if I was Steve, I wouldn't have done that. Because no, if anything, I'm taking your sister. Lame. Taking your sister. And it's around the time he was an alcoholic too, but that's neither here nor there. We're not even about to touch on that yet. But yeah, man. I mean, Steve showed y'all he was a bucket. There's other times too. There's another time where like Waldo tap dances and Steve out there, he made the game winning 3. Like he's a walking bucket, bro. Everybody knows this, right? Everybody knows this. And we can get into one more story. I know y'all it's Randumb Rants, right? Y'all like when I tell those stories, right? I told y'all in the beginning of this, right? You know, these Fresh Prince of Bel-Air characters, they connect with Family Matters due to the relationship, you know, between Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow, of course. But what you guys don't know, is that Steve attended that MTV camp in Cali. He attended that throughout all his 4 years, just so he can get better and whatnot. Steve was just undersized, and he is exceptionally smart, you know, in science. So it's like, you know, I got a different path. You know, I know I'm not going to the NBA. But yeah, Steve has met Carlton Banks. And everybody knows that because they were in the same camp and whatnot that one year. And as y'all can see, Steve dunked on Carlton. You know, they both nerds and whatnot. They actually are very cool and whatnot. Like, they still click tight to this day. You know, but yeah, Steve dunked on him and whatnot. Y'all see it. Like, I'm Randumb Rants. I be having all the pictures, all the proof, you know. So y'all gotta mess with me, man. Like and subscribe, man.